All right, let's move over to some financials now. Performance for Q1. We're going to be looking at Zenith Bank, MTN, and Seplat, and we are joined by our ever-faithful Chika Mbonu, a RISE business analyst, coming to us here to talk about some financials. Chika, you're welcome to the Global Business Report. Good morning to you, sir. We're starting with Zenith, I believe, yes? Take it away, please.
You do recall that we've done 4 of the 5 big banks, the Tier 1 banks.
Yes.
So Zenith is the last of the big 5. Coming at gross earnings growth of 6%. Considering the environment that we have, this is decent.
Yes.
The Zenith results, is similar, to the results of the other big 4. They represent the macroeconomic environment that we face and a couple of the regulatory actions that have been carried out by the Central Bank of Nigeria. If you look at the net interest income there, you'll find that it fell by 5%. Now, interesting, because we go to the loan book actually grew. The gross loans in the bank grew by 11%. So you would have thought that this line would grow. But what happened is, now again, I thought about the regulatory actions of the Central Bank.
Yes.
Even though the Treasury bills portfolio of Zenith Bank just fairly remained constant between last year and this year.
Yes.
Guess this. The income from Treasury bills fell by 65%.
Due to the rates drop.
The rate drop. This rate drop.
We're seeing the impact of that rate drop
on the regulatory actions. So the quantum of the TB portfolio was almost the same.
Yes.
But you see that on quantum terms, they lost about 27 billion. Quarter on quarter, year on year, on the Treasury bill income on that, 65% reduction in that.
Wow,
so you can see why that net interest income fell by 5%. The other issue there is look at the non-net interest income for the 3%. In previous years, it has been driven by growth in electronic banking fees.
Okay.
But in this quarter, the electronic banking fees actually fell by 40%.
Wow.
40%, are rising again from the regulatory action by Central Bank, reducing the fees and charged by them. But luckily for Zenith Bank, that was compensated by gains in trading income, which grew by 98%.
Okay.
And again, they made a FS revaluation gain of about 15 billion. That's massive. So it compensated for this loss in the net fee and electronic banking fees.
Okay.
Look at OPEX, operating expenses. It grew by 10%. Inflationary environment,
yes.
So that impacted their profit before tax. Now, if you check it there, if you put it on ratio basis, their cost-to-income ratio, basically how much, for every 100 naira they earn, how much did they spend to earn it?
Okay.
It grew from about 51 naira in the previous year to about 53 naira this year. So the cost for Zenith Bank has inched up. And that, led to the PBT, marginal PBT growth of 3%. Good for the environment that we have, we're in now. If you go to the balance sheet,
okay,
again, you look at the customer deposits, grew by 5%, decent for the environment that we're operating in.
Okay.
Loan books, as I said, grew by 11%.
11%, double-digit growth.
Double-digit growth. But, it wasn't compensated for the net interest income because of the fall in Treasury bills income.
Okay.
And so, total assets, again, of Zenith Bank, 7.128 billion, trillion. So, very decent growth there.
Okay.
Ratios, let's look at ratios. Ratios for Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank, let's look at the 2 or 3 ratios there. The return on average, look, cost income ratio, I talked about that already. How much of every 100 naira do they spend?
Yes.
Look at it there. From about 51 naira, inch up to 53 naira. Inflation environment that we face.
Yes.
Net interest margin, do recall the issue I mentioned about the Treasury bills again.
Yes.
You can see it fell from 8.9%, impacted that 7%, and then return on the average equity, look at that. From 25.2 in the previous year to 2%. And then, of course, return on average assets is there. So you'll find that the result of Zenith Bank, is symptomatic, represents the macroeconomic challenges that we face, and then the effect of the regulatory actions by CBN, especially in light of the things they've been doing on T-bills, open market operation, and loan-to-deposit ratio. So you see the NPL, which you like. Zenith has always been very decent on NPL.
On NPLs, yes.
Still, 4.6, even though it grew marginally, and still below the statutory minimum of maximum of 5% by Central Bank.
Okay.
Zenith was always solid on capital adequacy ratio, and liquidity ratio is also very, very, very strong.
Okay.
So on Zenith Bank, you see very decent results, very good first quarter. Among the top 5, it had the highest in profit before tax. at 58.7 billion. Interestingly, they are about 5. You know, if you look at the table there,
yes,
you can see that. Look at they came in at 58.8 billion there on PBT.
Yes, right there. Yes,
look at the next button there. That is GT. About 500 million above GT. You know, so Zenith and GT are always boxing when it comes to PBT.
Okay.
You know, of course, the next one there is Access Bank, and then UBA, and then of course the First Bank. These are the big boys.
Okay.
The big boys. Look at the cost income ratio. This is very relevant. You will find that, look at them, look at that. So 40.59 for that.
Yes.
And then look at the 52, look at 51 points. So you find that for these other banks to be very strong, they have to bring cash their cost income ratio. And that's why GTB is beating all of them.
At that point.
Yeah, look at Zenith where it is, that. And then for return on equity again, represents the PBT or PAT over their total equity. Again, you see where GTB is compared to the other banks. Other banks. And for total assets, you find the other banks too there.
Okay.
So, challenging first quarter for the banks. Remember what I said before, that the second quarter we're entering now is going to be the softest of the 4 quarters because of the challenges that we'll face. Foreign exchange, issues, loan NPLs are expected to go up. Transaction volumes are going to go down because of the closures we have. And let's see what will happen when we see the quarter 2 results.
It's always interesting. Yeah. Okay, we're also going to touch on MTN.
Let's go MTN.
Okay,
if we can. Let's go to MTN quickly. MTN, basically, MTN result is symptomatic of when you talk about businesses that are positively or negatively correlated with the environment. MTN has its business correlated now with what's happening, negatively correlated what's happening in the environment, which means that what's happening in the environment, when things are getting bad for us, it's getting better for them. You can see service revenue grew by 17%. Now, the elements of service revenue include the voice. Voice revenue grew by, watch this, 7.4%. Voice, talking.
That's talking.
Yeah. Even though subscriber base grew by 4.2 million, they got about, MTN's largest subscriber, biggest network in Nigeria.
Yes,
so they grew to about 68.5 subscribers on voice. But voice revenue grew by 7.4%. Now, this is why this result is very important, to show that whereas things are getting bad for other people, it's getting better for them here. Their voice, yeah.
Chika, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Chika Mbonu on the Global Business Report on the Rise News, the Cleveland Analyzing. Welcome back to the Global Business Report. We are still with Arise Business Analyst Chika Mbonu going through the results, Q1 results for the banking sector. Now we're in telecoms, looking at MTN's performance. So Chika, please continue.
Yeah, as I said, the service revenue of MTN grew by 17%. And I said it was driven by growth in the voice revenue. Watch this, by 7.4%.
Yes.
But watch this. The data revenue grew by 60%.
60?
So MTN has profited from lockdown. MTN is one of the
renewing data.
So with the FIRS memo,
yeah, that's why he said that.
That's why he said it. So everybody renewing data. Watch this also. Digital revenue also grew by 64%, and fintech revenue grew by 36%.
Those are
all due to the fact that people are on lockdown
at home, and
people have to. So no wonder the service quality even deteriorated.
Yes.
A lot of times you will not be able to get through because a lot of people are home. So MTN profited from this, and I thought that we should see this, that they have profited from the lockdown, and that's why their PBT also grew by 9%. Let's quickly look at
oil and gas.
Yes. Let's go Seplat. Let's look at Seplat quickly.
Okay.
Seplat quickly.
Yes.
Again, very interesting result here. If you look at the revenue there, gross profit margin, interestingly,
that is it.
Fell by about 25%.
Yes.
It was 25% here and 50% in last year.
Yes.
Now, but if you look at, let's look at the next slide, please.
Okay.
Next slide. What gives rise to the, next slide, please. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at the last but one slide.
Yes.
The average oil price per barrel was 49. Almost $50 per barrel.
Right.
Look at the before, $62 and a effort of 20%. So again,
oil price
has affected what's happening in the environment. Unlike MTN, again, from what's happening in the environment, telecoms,
oil and gas
has suffered from the telecom.
Wow.
And no wonder this period has been bloody for Seplat. Indeed, for this quarter, they made a profit loss before tax of about 34 billion. and that has affected their performance. So again, it's to show the macroeconomic environment how it affected different companies.
Financial sector,
telcos, the telecom, and the financial and the oil and gas sector.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Really quickly, let's see now. If I could just quickly get your thoughts. The central bank, I understand, has now started to renew sales, dollar sales to SMEs and
SMEs and retail
paying school fees. Students paying school fees.
And
welcome development. Yes.
Yeah. And again, do recall that what happened was that when that market was closed, a lot of people gravitated to the free black market, and that put pressure on that market because the supply is limited and pushed up the price to what it is now, to about 420, 450. So we do believe that now that this window has opened, a lot of parents now and other people will leave that black market and go to the regular window, and that will bring the price down substantially.
All right, business analyst Chika Mbonu, thank you so much for taking us through the financials, telcos, oil and gas, and the foreign exchange market as well. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.